Hello and thanks for joining us on this fabulous Friday. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Let's take a look at the stories we're bringing you this afternoon. Now, before you start your weekend, we have a major construction alert. More on what is sure to impact Arkansas drivers in 2 minutes. And a Pennsylvania man is arrested, accused of buying and selling stolen human body parts from Arkansas. The bizarre story just ahead. Plus, many of us would do anything to improve the lives of our furry friends. In 12 minutes, we'll introduce you to a team of inventors at Thomas Jefferson University doing just that. But first, meteorologist Corrales Ortiz is here with us. Corrales, it is just gorgeous outside.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right? I want to know, are we going to get more of that this weekend?
I know. So for those who have been cooped up inside all day, just take a minute to step outside and just feel how it is outside. Low humidity, it's not too hot. Even on the lightest breeze, it feels absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look right now what we're seeing outdoors. We're already quickly warming up this afternoon. 86 degrees on the thermometer, 82 in Conway. We have some speckles of some clouds out there, but generally just sunny. 89 is expected for our highs today, so just shy of 90 degrees. We'll still continue to see these warmer temperatures and low humidity, but it's going to quickly warm up heading into the weekend. And we'll be seeing an increase in our rain chances as well through the weekend for several days on end. So that's what I'll be focusing on in the forecast. I'll have your latest details coming up just ahead.
Thanks, Corrales. And we start with a construction alert happening later today. RDOT is closing the eastbound side of I-40 for construction. The I-30, I-40 interchange is the most traveled in the natural state, so backups are expected. So let's talk about what you can expect if you're going to be trying to get out and about this weekend. What you see here on your screen is the closure and detours. If you are driving from Conway, wanting to get to Little Rock or North Little Rock, instead of going through, you're going to have to go all the way around to make it to your destination. The detours you'll have to take instead follow I-430 south to I-30 east. From there, you'll take I-30 east and I-440 east to then return to I-40. Now, while this closure will probably cause a lot of headaches, Dave Parker with RDOT says this route is the best option.
We've used this approach before, total shutdown of a portion of the interstate to go in and get the work done versus stretching this out over 7, 8, 9 nights potentially. It's safer, it's more cost efficient, it's better for the driving public. I think people appreciate getting in, getting it done versus stretching it out.
RDOT is closing the section of the I-30, I-40 interchange area to install 2 large steel beams to start work on a new ramp in this area. This closure starts tonight around 10 p.m. and will open back up Monday around 5 in the morning. And a reminder for the roads, Arkansas law enforcement are stepping up patrols for drunk drivers. The Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign is underway through Labor Day. But despite the well-known campaign, traffic deaths are up for the 3rd straight year. About a third of crashes are due to impaired driving. Expect to see increased patrols on state highways and local roads by law enforcement. Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock, a popular place for events, is getting out of the graduation business. It's a decision that comes after a string of gun violence erupted during graduation events last spring. THV 11's Ashley Godwin reports other places are stepping up to play host.
UA Little Rock has hosted graduations in the past, but now more schools are looking to them as Simmons Bank Arena says no.
And we've had pretty much the Pulaski County schools, all 5 of their graduations.
For big schools and universities, Simmons Bank Arena has been the go-to for graduation ceremonies. But after violence this spring, when a shooting happened outside of the arena after a North Little Rock School District graduation, arena officials announced they won't do it again. Simmons Bank Arena tells THV 11 they made the decision a few weeks ago to stop hosting graduations at the arena due to safety concerns. They cite that since the arena opened 23 years ago, 3 shootings happened on the premises, and they've all been after graduations.
It's a good opportunity for us. It gives more exposure to our university, and that's what we're all about.
The Jack Stevens Center will host several graduations this year, including North Little Rock School District, Little Rock School District, Benton, Sheridan, and East End. And with safety being a concern for some, UA Little Rock says they have a public safety department that staffs and monitors events held there.
Both in the parking lots, in the center, Jack Stevens Center itself.
For Wake Up Central, I'm Ashley Godwin.
Other big programs that use Simmons Bank Arena, like Baptist Health and UAMS, are also taking their graduations elsewhere. UAMS will use Barton Coliseum, while Baptist Health is still looking at other options. And a bizarre investigation is underway after a Pennsylvania man is arrested, accused of buying and selling stolen human body parts from Arkansas. Police intercepted a shipment headed for 40-year-old Jeremy Pauley, who reportedly told investigators he's a collector of oddities. Police say the parts were stolen from the UAMS mortuary. According to UAMS, the person suspected of taking the remains worked for a contracted company who handles donated remains. Pauley reportedly purchased the remains through Facebook Messenger for $4,000. UAMS confirms that contractor is under investigation by federal authorities for taking donated human remains and says it's saddened and appalled by what happened. Now, Apple product users, listen up. Tech giant Apple discloses security vulnerabilities that all iPhone and iPad users should now pay attention to. As you're up and at it this afternoon, you should get out those devices and update your software, because there are 2 security holes that could let hackers gain control of your device. The update is available to all iOS devices right now. The public could be closer to learning more about what led the FBI to search former President Donald Trump's Florida home. A Florida judge has signaled that he could unseal portions of the affidavit that could contain details of what prompted the search. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The Department of Justice has less than a week to submit proposed redactions of the affidavit used to authorize the search of former President Trump's Florida home.
It explains the scope and breadth of that application, or that investigation, and it has a number of confidential informants and witnesses whose ongoing participation may be jeopardized by the disclosure.
Deanna Schulman represents one of the many media organizations, including CBS News, which petitioned the court to unseal the document.
It is up to the public to determine what is meaningful in this investigation.
The Department of Justice argues the affidavit should remain fully sealed to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation with national security implications.
The DOJ investigation is examining the former president's handling of records after he left the White House, which included top secret and classified documents.
I think the stakes could not be higher. When the DOJ says this is an open investigation at its earliest stage.
Former federal prosecutor Scott Frederickson says that's why he's surprised the Florida judge is willing to unseal even portions of the affidavit.
I think we can look forward to discovering a few more tantalizing details and context. For the most part, we're not going to see the core of what we're all very interested in.
Newly unsealed court documents indicate possible crimes under investigation could be willful retention of national defense information, concealment or removal of government records, and obstruction of federal investigation. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The full unredacted affidavit will eventually be released when the investigation concludes, whether charges are ever filed or not. The LAPD released body cam video of a deadly officer-involved shooting. Investigators say Reginald Humphrey shot at people in California last month, then walked away from the scene. Police say when they found and confronted Humphrey, he ignored their commands and walked away. When they confronted him a second time, police say Humphrey pointed a gun at them twice. That's when they opened fire, wounding him. Humphrey later died at a hospital. And today, the West Memphis 3 is celebrating 11 years of freedom. In a tweet from Damian Eccles, he says, quote, "I walked off of death row 11 years ago today. I have complete faith that one day we will be celebrating the day we were exonerated, as we do the day we were released." Right now, Eccles is appealing a judge's ruling that denied new DNA testing in the case of the West Memphis 3. They were convicted of murdering 3 young boys in 1994 and were released in 2011 on an Alford plea. The appeal goes to the Arkansas Supreme Court. So far, a date has not yet been set for the court to examine the case. A group of Pennsylvania inventors is working to improve the lives of pets. More on a new life-saving rescue effort in 2 minutes. Corrales?
We have a beautiful late summer day in the forecast today, but what changes can we expect as we head into the weekend? Well, I'll have the details coming up.